Hey guys, give me just a second. Okay, kind of set up. Um, this is different than I normally do. Um, I just really wanted to talk about it. Yeah. A little thing about me is I very much enjoy me some Star Wars. Um, I very much enjoy it. I kind of grew up with it and I like it a lot, and yeah. I could talk to my boyfriend about it, but he's not as into it as I am. So I figured, you know what might be fun? Coming on here and talking about it. No, but yeah, let's show you guys. I've had, you know, I made, for example, I'll show you some of the stuff I've done on like my Instagram before we get into talking about the show. Um, Sorry, one day I'll figure this all out. Don't worry. There. So yeah, I did this. Woo! Hold on. I did this look this year, and it was inspired by this meme. And I did this inspired by Padme's look at the end of the Phantom Menace. And I did this using the child palette, because we all love Grogu. And yeah, these are some nail wraps in it. Old, I don't know if you guys will remember, but this was a Happy Meal toy back in like when the Phantom Menace came out. And when you pop this open, you can't see my mouse, I have to fix that. But that button in the center, if you pop that open, it opens up and it's Darth Maul fighting Qui-Gon, I believe. I have it around here somewhere. It's something like that. Let me see if I can get it so you can see my mouse, because I feel like that's important. Don't do that. Come on. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see my mouse now. Whatever. Yes, I just wanted to show you guys. Not that I need to prove my fandom or anything, but yeah, I'm a fan. So I'm one of the people who, I guess maybe, I don't know if I should give some history, because I'm one of the people that actually enjoyed The Last Jedi, but I didn't hate, but I very much disliked The Rise of Skywalker. Um, when the show was announced, I was super fucking hype because in the original trailer they used the Duel of the Fates song, and I had like not been that hyped for something Star Wars related in a hot minute because I was like, oh my god, like it's happening. Um, when the show like when the show started out, I really liked the first episode. I kind of like the idea of seeing Obi-Wan's like his feeling of maybe failure or like that he couldn't do enough. I thought that was really like I liked seeing all that. I didn't have a problem that much with episode one except for the goons that were like fucking kidnappers. That was ridiculous. I'm not gonna go through every episode, but like there were things I liked about the show and there were things I didn't. And there were like things about that last episode that I liked and there were things I didn't. But I will say that I feel like Ewan McGregor did spectacular and Hayden Christensen did spectacular. The acting was on point. They were, I don't know, I think there were pacing issues with the show. I think the show would have been better. Okay, no worries. I'm so sorry. Let me know when you're gone. We'll be like bye and I'll continue talking about it. I'm so sorry. Um think I could say some stuff real quick that's not. But I feel like the whole thing. Okay. I feel like the whole thing would have been better off as a movie. Like, I feel like there's that issue where, like, they're fitting in so much into. Oh, it was only 6 episodes, so it didn't feel like enough time to tell the story specifically of Reva. I feel like Reva needed more time, and I think it was Star Wars theories video, but I might be wrong. But it was somebody's video, and they said that they felt, no, it was somebody else. Fuck, I don't remember who it was. Sorry, but they had said that they felt like Reva's like whole arc, and warning, spoiler, um, and that she's like in on this like hunting Vader thing. I feel like her motivations should have been earlier in the season. Like, we should have just known from the get. I feel like that would have made us care about her more. Um, I think that that would have helped a lot. Oh, I love Harley Quinn. Yay! I love it. Um, let's see. So I did, you know what I wish they included? I wish they included, as you can see from like the picture I have up, I wish they'd included something more with Padme, whether it be like a flashback or literally anything. Like, I don't know. She's my favorite character. Spoiler alert, maybe. Ella! Hi, Ella! But yeah, she's my favorite character. I love her so much. Like, I did a fusion cosplay over this year. I did a cosplay over the other year. I really want to do her Meadow outfit. I love everything about her. I think she's not only a fashion icon, but she's such an important character in Star Wars that sometimes gets overlooked. But I do enjoy her like so much. um, hello. Um, let's see. That was one thing I really like. If I had made a bingo card, that would have been one of the things I would have had on the bingo card, hoping that she would have showed up. But that scene, like obviously, I'm gonna say like, well, there were a couple highlights, and the highlights were definitely fan service for sure. But I'm not even mad about it. But I loved the scene specifically when and this obviously spoiler warning. Spoiler, is it up there? Yeah. Spoiler warning. Right there. um I loved when Obi Wan cut the mask and you could see the way they did that, because sometimes I feel like when I've like even because I grew up, all right, I had seen Star Wars. Okay, this is important. When I was young, I had seen Star Wars like in passing, maybe one or two of them, and I didn't really. It didn't do. I love peppers. It didn't, it's not that it didn't resonate with me. I guess I think the story, I didn't really understand it the best. We'll put it that way. And then when I was like in 6th grade and I was like 12, I think, that's when the Phantom Menace came out. And I went out with my mom and my dad. It was like one of the last things we did before the whole family broke up or whatever. But we went and saw it and I enjoyed it. And then every time, like when the Clone Wars came out and when the, is it Revenge of the Sith? I think so. That was the third one. I saw the Attack of the Clones. Why do I call it the Clone Wars? I'm sorry. Whatever. When I saw the prequels in theater, I saw them all in theaters, and I am this idiot. Like, imagine this: I'm watching Revenge of the Sith. I'm super into it, and then Palpatine says, "Rise, Lord Vader," and I see the end, and they put him in and I'm like, okay, I think I understand where this is going, and then they put the suit on him, and I was like shook. I was like, oh my god, he's Darth Vader. Like, I don't know if that's a spoiler for literally anyone out there, but I don't know why you'd be watching this if that were the case. Sorry, my hair is driving me nuts. Oh no. Yeah, but you find out that he's Darth Vader, and I was probably the only person in the audience that was like shook. And then when I got a little older, I remember, I think it was on Spike TV. I'm old. On Spike TV, they had a marathon on like a Father's Day or something of literally all the prequels and then the original trilogy. And I watched everything, and it was like so enlightening for me. Um, Fudge. I know I was gonna say something before, and I'm sure it had exact relevance. But oh yeah, I remember now. The reason I bring that up is because when I used like when I'd watch the yes, I love Batman. I love Harley Quinn and the Joker. Yes. I so cute. I remember it was kind of hard for me to imagine that Anakin was in the Vader suit. Like it was hard for me to that concept. Like I knew it was him, but like I don't know, it was just kind of hard, and I don't know if it's because like I know it's made before and I know it's a different actor and it's just kind of bizarre. Maybe it's James Earl Jones, whatever. But what this episode did, and I think it probably did this for other people who probably have a similar mindset to me, who's freaking weird, is you got to really see Anakin behind the mask. They did this thing where like if you've ever watched like Hit Boga's channel and he's revealed to the scammers who he is by like he clips back and forth between my favorite Star Wars character is Padme Amidala. I love her so much. Icon, queen. um they who's your favorite? Um man, I have the worst memory in all of time. Oh yeah, you guys, this is terrible. Um Oh yeah, so when Kickboga does that, he used to reveal to scammers how he would go back and forth by saying like, you know, like he'd be pretending to be an old lady with a voice changer, and when they weren't getting it, he'd go in and out of it, so you'd hear him talking his normal voice with the voice changer. So it was like that in the episode where like you could hear them both clipping in and out, and it was incredible. Yes, good choice. I love Vader. But yeah, it like it humanized Vader because we kind of see him as like not really a human, but the show did a really good job of merging that center part, especially for him, where if you had a hard time connecting Anakin to Vader, even though we had that, but like visually and mentally kind of making that click, it kind of helped with that. So I really did like that aspect of the show. And Ewan McGregor's acting is something else as Obi-Wan. Like I really felt like that pain. Like that was that was a lot. That was really they did great with that. The acting was on point. Yes. um Trying to think what else. Iconic that we got to hear another hello there. Loved it. That was when that happened. I was like, yes. And I know that's strictly fan service and it's for the memes and all that, but it was still it's little things like that I don't mind. It's breaking canon that becomes a problem. But the show didn't do that bad. If anything, excuse me, there were some goofy parts, sure. There were some pacing issues. There were some real tightrope moments on the canon where like, ugh. But I think that it did tie some things together that, you know, when they made the original trilogy, they weren't, you know, things weren't set in stone, so some wording and things were different. Like, hello. Like, wordings and things were different. Like, how Obi Wan calls him Darth. They did that, like a reference to that, so you can kind of see they fixed the dialogue issues, I think. A lot of the dialogue issues within the original trilogy that don't match with the prequels, they kind of work them in to make the story make more sense. And I'm not mad at it. That kind of stuff is not a problem. I think it adds more immersion. It makes you easier. If anything, it makes the prequels, it helps them. It bridges the gap in a way that works. Hi, good morning, Kushal98. Oh gosh, it's morning for you, huh? It's 11 p.m. for me. It's almost bedtime. How are you? Did you watch the show? Have you seen it? Are you up to date? Did you like it? I'm just kind of rambling my thoughts about the episode. Mostly the things I liked. I thought I was actually going to say more negative stuff about it because I did have like a lot of like, I mean, I did watch it a couple hours ago. That's good. Um, I'm happy to hear it. I am well. I am in a good mood. Uh, I'm kind of sad the show's over, but that's okay. Now I have a lot to think about. I kind of want to rewatch everything, not necessarily this show, but I kind of want to definitely want to rewatch the prequels. I'm thinking about doing that because I haven't watched them in forever. Oh wow, that is early. That is early morning. But thank you for coming by this morning. I very much appreciate the company. Hopefully, like it says, spoiler warning. Hopefully, I'm not spoiling anything for you. I'm thirsty. Hold on. Sorry, drink like a child. Okay, Yoda Master, thank you for stopping by. And Kushal, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it here. This is a little bit of a different stream for me. Usually I'm gaming, but since I watched Kenobi earlier, I'm kind of like really like hype about it and excited about it. Just figured, you know what? I have nobody to talk to about it, so here I am doing my musings. Not that probably anybody cares about what I have to say, but I figured, you know what? I just want to talk about it so much. I said, this is your warning, Yoda Master. If you're still here, mute me if you need to, because I'm about to spoiler talk. Um, yeah, but you could come back and watch it when you're caught up. Bye. Hey, King Houston. I'm about to talk some spoilers, so if you don't want to hear it, mute me. Savage, like in a good way or a bad way? Oh, jeez. Also, yeah, I know. I don't have makeup on. I'm not like dressed like queen, yas. This is me in my natural form. This is me in the I don't give a fuck form. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know, it's like imagine amazing what a little makeup, some editing can do. Shocking. Good lighting, yas. King Houston. I'm loving all the emojis. Is that a potato? That's kind of a mood. But yeah, I loved it. I loved it, but also there were problems. But the problems were goofy problem. It's one of those things. I think it feels like it has the issue that like Game of Thrones. Thank you, Kashal. That's very nice of you to say. It had the similar issues that I think Game of Thrones had, where too little episodes for too much story, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know if maybe they should have. I know they only had planned to do the one season, but I don't know why they only did 6 episodes if that was the case. Um, Let me see here. Hold on. I'm gonna recommend a video to you guys if you're interested. I watched it earlier and it kind of really, like, I guess I could go over it. I'm going to watch it probably because I'll be doing commentary. I just don't know how Twitch will feel about it. I should say that. Maybe I'll just make it smaller and stuff. Hold on 1 second. Um, just because it's gonna have stuff from the show, like visually. Give me just a sec. No, I need to find what I watched recently. Stream. Maybe we'll go over this because I didn't play into stream too long. I just wanted to like fangirl out a little bit.
So tragic, no matter how.
Okay. Yeah, it was from Ramnicore. Remnicore. I'll put his video up in a second. It's only 18 minutes. I'm pretty sure this was the one I watched and I was like, there were so many things I agreed with. Yes! I ain't mad at a lurk. I'm always happy with anybody being here. But yeah, let me put this up and kind of fiddle with the sizing issue here. And we'll watch it together and we'll talk about it. Oof.
A buddy of mine saw Kylo Ren take his shirt off in the shower, and he said that Kylo Ren had an 8-pack. But Kylo Ren was shredded.
I mean, he kind of is. It's funny too because I'm looking at OBS, so I got to see it. I'm very excited. Okay, let's see. I'm so bad at this, you guys. It's terrible. Alright, first of all, yeah, that should have been smaller. Should I? No, it's okay. We'll do full size. It's fine. So this way you could also see the creator on there. Okay. Give me a second. Yeah, let me want to make sure you guys can see his name in case you want to subscribe or watch the video later, which I highly suggest. It is very good. Yeah, so we'll actually go over it, I think, because I agree with a lot of it, and it's actually, yeah. So I also learned, sorry, I was curious. I also learned a lot of stuff about the episode that I didn't even know, because like I'm a fan, but I'm not as caught up as I'd like to be. Like I've only seen a portion of the Clone Wars animated series, and I haven't seen Rebels or anything. So I learned some stuff and I was like, what the hell? I have read some of the books though, as you can see. I'm currently on Queen's Peril. I read Queen's Shadow. And I've read a couple of the Legends books. I've read some of the comics, which if they don't bring... Oh, thank you, King Houston. I really appreciate that. Yay! I I read some Legends books. Oh, yeah. They need to add a series. I don't care what it is, a series, or if they do it like Obi Wan Season 2, talk to Afra and her droids and stuff. That whole arc in the Vader comic. So good. So good. I loved that Vader comic so much. But yeah, let me throw this on real quick. Hopefully it works.
How relatable, likable, or interesting.
Oops.
Previously on Remnicore's YouTube channel. Even this show being a letdown cannot squash my excitement for the Kenobi series, because I have no idea how they could f it up. I have no idea how they could f it up. I have no idea how they could f it up. I have no idea how they could f it up.
So yeah, like It's kind of like a love-hate thing, which I kind of get with like his reaction is kind of like how I feel too. Like I love it, don't get me wrong. Like I am like, yes, queen, I love this. But also there's a lot of problems and things that kind of make me go like eye roll or that's hard to believe. And it's kind of like when you watch like season 7 or sorry, wait, 6 and 7, is that right, of Game of Thrones? I don't remember if they went up to 8. I think it was 6 and 7, where it felt like they were like time traveling because they would like were teleporting from one part of the map to the other in like an episode where it used to take them like an entire season to get to point A to point B. It kind of had that same vibe, and I was just kind of like, okay, like they were progressing character development and story so fast that I feel like it would have worked better in a movie story form because there are some things that were beautiful in it, like that scene at the end with Vader and Obi-Wan, like my heart. It just my heart. So yeah, we'll keep watching.
So the day has finally come. After years and years of waiting, the ultimate prequel cash-in has finished debuting all 6 episodes. I've already
To be fair, he's not wrong.
made a video criticizing the show for feeling and looking cheap, which got a lot of attention, and then also made a review last week on the 5th episode.
Which I agree with it looking cheap. And to me, it was kind of like the sets look incredibly small. And I'm like, but why? This is Disney. You know what I mean? Like, I never looked at a set on Game of Thrones, which I would think Star Wars would be on that level, like, financially, and thought, like, wow, it's a really small set. Or like, wow, it looks like they're in like a tiny environment constantly. I feel like it's such an open world, so everything in it usually is grand. Um, and it's like they spent all their money on Tatooine and they were like, fuck everything else, no. But I mean, like, we did get to see Alderaan, which was really nice, but like, so many of the sets just seemed so tiny, which made it feel cheap, in my opinion. And I don't know why. Unless maybe, like, no, even, I don't understand why.
had already been expressing my opinions on this
Like I said this, okay, sorry. Like I had also said, like the CGI, I felt, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but like, or just the visual effects, I found like a lot of them to be better in the prequels than they were in the show, and that was like 20 years ago. Like, come on.
show in those videos, but now that all the episodes are out, I think it's only fair that I go back, review the entire series, and see if my mind has changed. But first, a brief word about today's sponsor. Thank
We watch sponsors because I feel like if I'm gonna watch the video and react to it, the least I could do is run the sponsor. So if you guys are interested in this, I'm just gonna let it run, and you could go to Remnicore's channel and support him and all that good gravy.
you to Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video. As someone who is doing their graduate studies in cybersecurity, I believe the smartest thing you can do is be protected and safe when using the internet. The best way to do that is with the VPN, and thanks to this sponsor, you can get one for a very sweet deal. Right now, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount. You can get a 3-year subscription for just $1.99 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and this is a deal you won't want to miss. Atlas VPN has more than 6 million users worldwide and works to make internet access secure and limitless for everyone. Not only
I was gonna keep letting it play, but I was just thinking to myself, like, man, I know nothing about VPNs. I probably shouldn't admit that on the internet, but whatever.
only is Atlas VPN a perfect way to browse and use the internet securely, but it can also be used to unlock a library of entertainment previously kept out of your reach. When you purchase Atlas VPN, you can utilize it to change the geographic location from which you are browsing the internet, which allows you to watch shows on Netflix or other streaming sites that aren't available in your home country. Atlas VPN is also incredibly fast, so I don't experience any interference when I'm streaming a show or playing a game. So don't miss out on this amazing deal because time is running out. Use the link in the description below to get a 3-year subscription for just $1.99 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you again to Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video.
There you go,
So I'm gonna
guys.
be honest with you guys. I really don't think that this show was that good. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's also not great.
Where I guess I kind of agree and disagree. Like, I liked it, but I wouldn't say it was bad. I think it was okay. Like, I think it was good. I think it was good. It just, did he say that? I don't remember. This is what happens, my brain. I think it was good, not great. I think it could have been better. it's subjective, to be fair.
I know what you're thinking. Why am I so critical of a franchise I claim to love? Well, the truth is I always want Star Wars to be the best. I grew up with Star Wars and part of me wanted Star Wars to grow up too. I'm learning to temper my expectations and just take the good stuff when it comes, but at the same time, I have quite a bit to say about this show, and
It feels like Star Wars has become very... I don't know if any of you guys ever watched Once Upon a Time, but kind of like that, where it's like, not that I want Star Wars to be on that level of Game of Thrones, where realistically, like, everybody dies and you know, people are slinging around slurs, not slurs, but like, you know, curse words. I didn't know the right term to use there, but you know what I mean. Like, it wasn't like that. But some people feel it's gone in a more childlike direction, which I kind of agree with, because I feel like there was still maturity to Star Wars. There were things that children could appreciate from Star Wars, but there's also like there was always a deeper part of it, like with the politics, which I'm really into. Which I'd like to watch a video on that at some point on my Twitch situation. I'd like to watch this video about the politics of Star Wars, because that is like one of my favorite parts of Star Wars. Weirdly, as I've grown up and stuff, are the politics. It's probably why I like Padme so much. And I feel like we don't talk about that. Like, ever since Disney took over the I guess the franchise, we'd call it, they don't really delve into politics much anymore. It's like not about that at all. It's all about the spectacle, which is kind of what the show is, to be 100% fair. It's like 90% spectacle. And I enjoy the spectacle, but you forget the spectacle. I feel like the little intricacies are what keeps us in. I feel like I'm watching that Gino Samuels documentary. What keeps us fascinated? Kill me. If anybody's been watching that with Papa Gut, you'll know. But yeah, we'll continue. I'm sorry, tangent.
and I've been looking forward to doing so for a while. It goes without saying then, this video is filled with spoilers for the show. You have been warned. First, I'm going to start off with things that I do like about this show.
Yeah,
I
let
need
me
to preface
move
this
that.
by saying that when I say I like something, it's because while watching the show, it's something I found myself enjoying, even though when criticizing the show, I might feel like it should have been handled differently or not done at all. For
Why were the effects so bad in that second episode with like the when she was like parkour on the buildings? It looks so bad. Was it just me?
example, I think Vivian Lyra Blair was a perfect casting choice for young Leia.
She was
I never
lovely.
thought she was annoying. Now, do I think Leia has a role that is almost too large in this show? Yeah, a little.
Everybody did. It felt like everybody outside of the show should have been shorter, or a movie, or stretched out more or something. It's just there's too much for too little. It's
But
very
within
hard
the
to
canon,
describe.
I love how this fleshes out her relationship with Obi Wan and explains why she would name her son Ben. However, like many problems with this show, it just doesn't mesh very well with the original Star Wars. For example, now it's kinda weird that Leia has like no reaction at all to Obi-Wan's death, but young Leia is adorable, though she's not written very consistently. Is she overly skeptical or naively trusting? I don't think the writers of this show know.
I don't think they know. The speed is what children run, because the way she outran kidnappers, Obi-Wan, bruh, like, is she using the Force? Like, dead ass curious.
I also love Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker. Though I have criticized the show for severely underutilizing Anakin and at times misdirecting Vader, there is enough here for me to feel satisfied and be content with the sequences that we got, where I can go back and rewatch
100% agree. 100%. Because those are the best parts. Like, I would not be mad with just a compilation of that, to be fair.
them and still be entertained. I could always say that I want more Vader, because I do, but I am also appreciative of what this show gave us, and I don't think it's worth complaining about it more. Hayden Christensen being in Star Wars again is just a dream come true, and I'm so happy to have him back.
Yeah.
It goes without saying that I also love seeing Ewan McGregor return to the role of Obi Wan Kenobi. It's really no secret that he carries this show, and you would expect that to be the case because, well, this show is about him.
Yep.
I think Ewan did a great job at showing us Obi-Wan in the transitionary phase from General Kenobi to Ben Kenobi.
I really think he did incredible. Like, I think he did really good. It was believable. You could tell he he didn't phone it in. Like, it was a great performance in my opinion. Not that I'm anyone special or anything, but you get it.
I started working on this video prior to the finale being released, so we're gonna check in with myself from the future and see if there's anything in the finale that I actually liked. Hey, it's me from the future, and yeah, there's a few things. This was awesome, 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 and this was awesome. The
Yeah.
only reason I started working on this video
true.
before the finale dropped is because A, this is still just a hobby, so I have to sleep and go to work, and B, the finale can't save an entire series. I'm sorry, but one stellar episode in a show with 6 episodes is not something I could consider to be a good show.
The only thing really worth watching is well, see, it's okay. I liked the first episode. I liked the scene, and I think the third episode where Obi-Wan used the Force with the water. Even though the stormtroopers weren't shooting when they were running toward, I don't understand how that works, but it's fine. I like that scene just visually. And then beyond that, I liked the last 2 episodes. It seemed like there was a lot of filler to stretch it out for 6, and I don't know why.
Throughout all 6 episodes, there are moments and scenes that I did enjoy a lot, but they are still plagued with other problems that I will talk about. Now that I've confessed to the things in the show that I actually did like, I'm going to move on to things that I did not like. Immediately following the first 2 episodes, I started to hear people talk about how the music wasn't impressive and really
I just remembered what he talks about in a minute. And by the way, guys, like, I like to, like, really put my input in when I'm doing these videos, because, like, I don't want, like, these creators to think I'm stealing their content or anything. I watch something and I'm, like, really passionate about it, and I just want to talk about it. So that's why. But, like, that's why I very much encourage you to support the people I'm watching and stuff.
really didn't feel like Star Wars music. I honestly felt the same way, but even I'm shocked that I'm saying this because I was ecstatic when I heard Natalie Holt was composing this show's score. Natalie Holt did a fantastic job on the
Bruh, they played Duel of the Fates in their trailer. That is what got me so excited. 100% was Duel of the Fates. I love that. I felt it was like so underutilized in Star Wars. It's like I think only in the Phantom Menace, and it's only used then. So when they played it in the trailer, it was like, oh my god, they're gonna bring this back. Could you imagine if they had played that when Darth Vader? Oh my god, you guys! Imagine if they'd played. What would you have done? What would y'all have done if they played Duel of the Fates when Vader and Obi-Wan were fighting? I really hope somebody makes a like a fan-made video of the Duel of the Fates song over Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fighting in that scene, because missed opportunity. I know it's like Darth Maul's thing, I think, but it would kind of just show like that fight of like in that one where Qui-Gon had to fight, like, was fighting Darth Maul. Like, could you imagine? Am I a genius? Why has nobody brought this up? What is happening?
the score for Loki, so I thought she would do a great job here. But the end result isn't necessarily bad, it's just not very good for Star Wars. John Williams only came back to make a theme for Obi-Wan, so other than that, he has nothing to do with the show's music. Star Wars has already seen other composers take a swing at the mantle, and I think they all did a great job. I love Michael Giacchino's work on Rogue One. I like some of the sound we got from John Powell for Solo, and Ludwig Göransson created a new iconic sound for Star Wars. But for whatever reason, Natalie Holt's score for Obi-Wan just feels stale. It doesn't feel very epic.
I don't even remember it, to be honest, like, at all. Whereas even like The Mandalorian has a very distinct sound. But I don't remember the music from Obi-Wan. I'm thinking about it.
The music just didn't elevate anything, and that's the issue. Though I did like the music when Reva fought Vader, it
I
all
don't
just
remember.
felt too much like a Marvel score. And that would be fine if this was a Marvel show, but it's not. It's Star Wars, and Star Wars has a very specific sound.
And I really wish that, like, Marvel would stay in Marvel and stop, this is a hot take for anybody here, but whatever. I preferred the original Suicide Squad to the new Suicide Squad movie, because I felt like the new Suicide Squad movie was trying to be a Marvel movie. So I felt like it just wasn't my jam, because when I think of DC movies, I feel like they should be more gritty, and like that. So it's kind of frustrating where like Marvel has more of like, I don't want to say cartoon-esque, but kind of like this more epic in a different way. It's just not, it's not that kind of gritty. It's clean. It's not Star Wars. It's Marvel. It's Marvel period. So like I get that Marvel's very popular and very, you know, what's sorry, my dog yawned. It's it's huge, right? It's huge. And they have the like extended universe, and I feel like everybody, like horror movies now have extended universes. Like they're all just trying to fit into this like, well, they like Marvel, so no. We like different things, and those different things we don't want them to turn into something else. Like that's not everybody loves Marvel. Like I sound like such a douchebag. I've personally not really seen much Marvel content. I don't have anything against it. I just haven't really gotten into it. But it puts me off of wanting to when everything I watch apparently is designed off of that idea. I don't know. I'm just ranting now.
The next thing that I did not like was the directing. This is where I'm going to expand on my one video that really blew up because a lot of people felt like I never explained why I thought it felt cheap. Alright, here's round 2. Let me try to explain again. This show is not directed very well. This show has constant shaky cam, stale angles, and the action is not shot in an engaging way.
The shaky cam is kind of annoying, to be honest, because it's constantly.
You can do handheld shaky cam in Star Wars and have it look good. Just take Rogue One for example. Some people did not like it when I said the Order 66 scene felt cheap. Don't get me wrong, it's cool, but I don't like how it's directed. The same goes for Obi Wan and Vader's first fight.
Every set feels fucking tiny. Like, everything just feels like so closed off. That was really frustrating to me watching it. It's like the world felt so small, and we're talking about a world that is planets. Like, I don't know.
A lot of people were commenting on how I was wrong and that it's a perfect fight because Obi-Wan is weak and Vader is toying with him. But I was never disputing the narrative weight behind the fight. I was just saying the directing sucked. When I show the comparison of the Scene 38 fan edit, I wasn't saying that Obi-Wan and Vader should both be at this intensity. It was really just Vader. I like the idea that Vader is severely disappointed and upset during this encounter because Obi-Wan is so weak and can't even put up a fight. But I think this could have been executed way better. I think they could have shown Vader as way more powerful than Obi-Wan here. Have him beat him down like a schoolyard bully, keep disarming him, knocking him down, but still allow him to get back up every time. This would show how intense and powerful Vader is while still showing how weak Obi-Wan is. But it also shows that Vader doesn't want to kill Obi-Wan right now.
It would make something that Vader says in this final episode make more sense too, about how like his strength has returned. Like, there's only like 3 episodes later, so it's like too much. Or two, was it 3 episodes later? It's something like that. It's like not enough time has passed for me to feel like the growth would be there. If
The
that
way
makes
that
sense.
this sequence is shot and directed is not very engaging, but that's just my opinion. I also feel the same way about Reva in the action in the 4th episode, from the stormtroopers shooting in narrow hallways, to stormtroopers not shooting in narrow hallways, to whatever this is, and this.
Bruh, that scene where he has Leia in his jacket like that. True story. My mom used to do that when I was a kid, so we can get into the hospital and see my grandmother, and it worked. So like, to me, watching that, I was like, checks out. I know it's completely different, and back then they probably just didn't care, but still, checks out.
Especially this. Deborah Chow directed episode 3 and 7 of The Mandalorian's first season, and those are 2 of the best episodes of the season. I just don't understand what happened with this show, because this is such a steep departure in quality. If the directing in this show didn't bother you at all, that's totally fine, I just really can't stand it. Another thing that I do not like, and that I also feel contributed to the show's low quality feel, is the design.
Hilarious.
Whether it's costumes or
Get ready
sets,
for this.
this show just wasn't that appealing in these departments. Everything is so shiny and polished, whereas the original Star Wars feels dirty and lived in. I don't think that was really intentional, but it feels far more authentic.
Also, like, Ewan McGregor's beard was like on point the whole time, and I was just like, how's he doing that?
This is why it all feels like a high-budget fan film. All of the sets feel super cramped and make it obvious that they're shooting on limited space in the volume. But like I've said before, the volume is a very cool piece of tech. but it's the best when you can't really tell it's there. I think the volume is becoming a little too noticeable, and as a result, the volume and scope of the show feels that much smaller. Even the costume designs feel incredibly cheap and poor
Hard agree.
quality. I've literally never seen these many humans wandering around Tatooine. Where the fuck are all the aliens? But when it comes to aliens actually in this show, I gave it a pass when the first trailer dropped, but now that the entire show is out and I've seen the final product,
You guys, he talks about this stuff. You're gonna die. I didn't even know.
I just can't get over it, man. The Grand Inquisitor and the Fifth Brother look like shit. You've all heard it before, and you either agree or don't care and aren't bothered by it. Rupert Friend or Rupert Friend can play the Grand Inquisitor. I like his performance. And Sung Kang is fine as the Fifth Brother. All he really did was whisper, yell, and grunt anyways.
Get ready for this.
I cannot get over this. Neither of them look anything like they're supposed to. The Grand Inquisitor's species is a Pauan from the planet Utapau. We meet their kind in Revenge of the Sith when Obi-Wan goes to fight General Grievous. They're superimposing in the makeup and effects are...
Bruh, if you didn't realize this, then you're like me. Then we're two of the same people. Because I was like, wait, no. And give it a second too, because he's gonna show you, like, you're gonna realize, like, up close, like, what the fuck? Why did they think this was a good idea? I have the perfect noise for this. Hold on. Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Hold on. I think this is what we need, right?
Bruh.
I didn't realize you could see all that. Whatever, it's fine. But yeah, that was my fucking reaction. I about died when I saw that. I was like, no, this can't be serious.
really neat. This was done in 2005, and right now it's 2022. So somebody please explain to me what the fuck I'm looking at. I know people say, oh, good characters.
Now, if you didn't know that, knowing what you know now, how do you feel about that? Because, like, I have no words. None.
Always look different when they're translated from animation to live action. But my brother in Christ, you have a perfect reference right here. They even showed a Pauan senator in the new teaser for Jedi Survivor, and he looks just like the Pauan from 2005. Rupert Friend doesn't look like the Grand Inquisitor. He just looks like he's cosplaying as him.
Did they know, though? Like, that's when I see something like that, all I can think is, but did they know? Like, did they know that there was a design for that already? Like, do the different teams talk to each other? Have they ever seen the prequels?
But honestly, I'm more upset about the Fifth Brother. Sung Kang is fine, but the Fifth Brother looks fucking whack. When you meet him in Rebels, he's a tall and brooding alien that grunts a lot, but he looks pretty frightening. I imagined he was around the same height as Vader and his footsteps were heavy.
This is like recent stuff too, apparently. Like this is like recent lore.
But no, he's just a regular Asian guy wearing a bike helmet with a skin condition and reverb in his voice. If they had made the Fifth Brother a CG alien and put Sung Kang in a mocap suit, I think this would have been a lot more faithful to Rebels, because neither him nor the Grand Inquisitor seem like they're playing the same character from Rebels.
Doesn't it look like when you see the original like characters and the other versions of them in other media, specifically like the live action version, like, but who thought this was a good idea? Who signed up for
The Grand
this?
Inquisitor and the Fifth Brother do jack shit in this show, so I really don't know why they did it this way, other than to save money. This show's plot is also a little incompetent. The plot kicks off when Reva hires people to kidnap Leia because she thinks Bail will seek out Obi-Wan. The main issue with this being the driving force of the plot is that now the Empire knows that Bail is actually in contact with Obi-Wan. Reva's plan worked.
How incompetent, though, did this show make Bail Organa look? Like, could you imagine? He's just, like, messaging Obi-Wan, and he's like, oh, the boy, if he knows, you know, if he finds out, like, how are you gonna put such sensitive... There are other ways, my dude.
Putting Leia in immediate danger brought him out of hiding. Why then would Bail not face judgment by the Empire? And why would Vader stop trying to find Obi-Wan for 9 years? Hi, it's me again from the future. So I guess the explanation for this is that Darth Vader just drops his obsession with Obi-Wan because Palpatine is like, hey, it's kind of weird you're like going after your former master when like we got a thing going on right now. You should probably stop that. Bail also tells Obi-Wan that
This story is also almost too, the whole stuff of like Leia getting kidnapped and everything, it's almost too grand of a, it's like too grand of a mission, too big of a story for where we are in the timeline, I think.
that he must go after Leia because only he knows how important she really is.
They need to do, seriously, they need to do the Vader stuff from the, I think it's the Marvel comics. And I think, I don't remember which, it's the Vader ones from like 2000 something. They're the ones with Dr. Aphra on them before she had her own solo stuff. And they're really good. They're really good. And I think they would make like a great show, to be honest.
But that's really more of a reason for him not to go after her. Neither Reva nor the criminals she hires know that Leia is the daughter of Anakin Skywalker. Reva only kidnaps her because she is Bail's daughter, and she knows they fought with each other in the war. If Bail had just sent his own army after her, he could have gained a ton of sympathy in the Senate, and he could have told the Empire, hey dude, you just up and kidnapped my daughter for no reason. You guys are fucking psychopaths. The next issue I have with this show is the writing, and specifically character writing for one particular character. And that, of course, is Reva. My video talking about Reva after the first 2 episodes is my most controversial video just judging by the like to dislike ratio, but I will admit I made some points in that video that don't really hold any weight, and that I'm now willing to go back on. It's fairly obvious that Disney and Lucasfilm were dead set on having a black woman as the antagonist in this show, but I don't really care. I don't want to waste my breath on that. Instead, I'm actually upset on behalf of the actors who get cast in this manner, such as John Boyega. Disney and Lucasfilm wanted to market
He makes a good point here. Like at first when I heard this, because this is a hot take, and I hope I come across like if this makes sense when I say this. I get frustrated when I watch, and this is kind of a reason why I wanted to talk about it here. I get frustrated when I watch a lot of videos and like I'll agree with them and I'm like, yeah, 100%, there's so many problems with this, and then they say something stupid and racist and I'm like, you couldn't fucking help yourself. You just couldn't help yourself. Like, why can't you just, all right, like you'll see a character, these people are such pieces of garbage. They see a character and what does their like race have to do with it? Like, I feel so bad that she had to go through what she went through. Like, that people just can't help themselves. Like, if you want to dislike a character, that's fine. I guarantee, like, why do you have to fall back on the color of her? It's irrelevant. It's relevant. I think, yeah, the writing for her character was a disservice to her character, but I don't think that has anything to do with her race. And what this guy does is he says it's more like they're casting, black actors in roles and then either minimizing them or giving them big roles but writing them as terrible characters, whereas they deserve more of a spotlight. Like John Boyega got shit on, like where like China took him off the poster, I think it was, and he was such a cool character in The Force Awakens, and they were like, no. I felt really sorry for him about that, because that shouldn't be. I don't even want to get into the sequel trilogy right now, but I hope I've come across in a way like that where that makes sense. It's like I get really frustrated where I watch these videos and then like I'll feel like I never want to watch their videos again because they did that. Like, why? What does that have to do with anything? Like, why is that what you pick? Or why is you feel like you have, imagine being that bigoted, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, let's continue. I'm sorry, I get sidetracked.
to the black man holding the lightsaber in The Force Awakens, but he was completely sidelined and given no character arc or anything to do in the following movies. John Boyega has said this himself, and I genuinely feel bad for him. I now feel a similar way about Moses Ingram because she didn't ask for this. Hell, Moses Ingram isn't even really a Star Wars.
She acted. I mean, her acting was good. It's kind of like how everybody gave Hayden Christensen shit back in the prequels, where they were like, oh, his acting is terrible, or you know, he sucks or he shouldn't have been cast in that role. But they're just doing, you know, they're doing a job at the end of the day. And the director tells them what they want. They give them a script. You read the script. They act it as they are told. And the when it comes down to it, I mean, unless they're really terrible bad, like the room bad, you know what I mean? But like 90% of the time, fucking complain to the director or the screenwriter, you know? It's fucking shit on the actors, damn.
Wars fan. So it's especially awful that she's just now the next in line to receive relentless abuse online from Star Wars fans. I know a lot of people say that a character like Reva should have never been introduced in
Star Wars fans sometimes, bro, like it's embarrassing to be one when you know that there's people who act like that in the community. Disgusting.
this story because it's about Obi Wan and Vader, but I could not disagree more. I'm upset on behalf of Moses Ingram and her character because I think she was handed a role that wasn't written very well. I don't think it's controversial to say that Star Wars fans are impatient, because I certainly am myself, but when you introduce a new character like Reva into this story and have her play a pivotal role as the driving force of the plot, you really have to do her character well. I think
her acting was fine. Her story arc was really good. It just, the pacing of it was fucking awful. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe like this would have been better off in a different story. It takes away. It adds very little, and what they wanted to add, it just doesn't showcase as well as it could. I don't know if that even makes sense.
The backbone of Reva's character is written well, but the execution fell completely flat. I only started to like Reva in the second to last episode because we finally
Look at this set. Look at this set. Isn't this exactly what happens in The Last Jedi at the end? But like, Chris said this, my boyfriend. He said, it's like that scene from Last Jedi, but like the Great Value version. It's like this like condensed mini budget version of that scene. Why though?
Story and learned her motivations. I asked you all if you thought this should have been shown to us earlier, and after reading your all's comments, I finally found where I stand on this issue, and I'm actually going to explain to you all how I would improve it. So here you go. Reva doesn't work because up until the second to last episode, we have no idea what her motivations are, and that's a
Even though it was obvious, I think, but it should have been, like, I don't know if it was meant to be that way, but I feel like it should have been established. Like, you can, I think he brings this up, but you can tell your audience things. We're not stupid. Like, it's like they have a hard time figuring out, like, what should they make as nuance and what should we be outright told. But it's done very poorly in the show.
It's a really big problem. We don't really need her entire backstory within the first 2 episodes, but in Reva's case, her backstory is integral to her motivations. Reva was a youngling during Order 66 and survived the slaughtering of her fellow Jedi.
Which is fascinating, by the way. Like, that's actually super interesting. And, like, her story arc is super interesting. But why did they, why did we see this side of her? I think is what it is we're not seeing this side of her, the part of her that is conflicted, that isn't sure. It's kind of like it's kind of like if in the prequels they didn't show us like Anakin going off and killing the Tusken Raiders who, you know, with his mother. It's like them not showing us any of that, and then like we're just supposed to be like we only see the good stuff he does, and then when he's like switches over, like it's like fucking Daenerys just all of a sudden being Mad Queen, I guess. Man, I got hot takes today.
Now an Inquisitor, she is secretly working against Darth Vader to gain his favor, and in the right moment, strike him down and kill him. For this show, a character like this is a perfect person to kick off the plot of the show. Why, you may ask? Because Darth Vader knows what she's up to. When Reva finally tries to kill him, he reveals that he's known what her plan was all along. It's just Darth Vader and the Great Inquisitor f***ing with her. I've heard some people say it's dumb that Darth Vader let her lead the chase for Obi-Wan if he knew she was a traitor, but, no, it's actually kinda smart. Reva only wants to find Obi-Wan to gain favor with Darth Vader, and presumably catch him off guard and kill him. Vader knows Reva will do anything to find and lure out Obi-Wan, so it makes perfect sense that he would use Reva for this purpose. He even
I think he explains like Vader's mojo and it's dead on.
Tells her that she is of no further
That
use
makes
because
sense.
he's been using her this whole time. Remember their first hologram chat in part 3? He tells her that he's been watching her and that he knows what she seeks. It's said and implied it's the title of Grand Inquisitor, but in hindsight it has two meanings. The issue is that we don't know what any of her motivations are at this point. Believe it or not, you don't have to wait until the very end to reveal information to both the audience and the other characters. The audience or other characters knowing something that another main character doesn't know still sets up very high tension, which this show is severely lacking.
He's gonna go into, I think, Better Call Saul, and I literally haven't seen it, so you guys might appreciate this part a little better than I do, just because I can't relate to it, but I understand what he means, if that makes sense.
To give you an example, I'm going to borrow from one of my favorite shows on TV right now, Better Call Saul. This is just a very, very mild spoiler.
Again, spoiler for this, if I think... Well, I guess it doesn't matter, but yeah, it's
In
not
Season
long.
6, Jimmy doesn't know that Lalo survived the events of Season 5's finale. Other characters are either adamant that he's alive, suspect he's alive, or flat out know he's alive. The person closest to Jimmy also believes he is alive, and you as the audience
lot of
know
dead
for
bodies.
a fact he's alive. So when Jimmy finds out, it causes so much tension, and if you've seen Better Call Saul, you know what I'm talking about. If we had gotten a hint in the first episode that Reva might not be exactly who she presents herself as, and then in part 2 we got a scene or two alone with her where we discovered where she came from and what her motivations are, then we as the audience would actually be able to sympathize with her.
Yeah, we would have related to her more, sympathized with her, we would have been actually rooting for her. It's like they wanted her to be the villain for half of the show before Vader eventually shows up. Which we didn't need. We knew he was gonna be in it. We knew he was the big bad. We didn't need, like, another, like, it would have been fine if we could see the conflict with her, knowing that she wasn't 100% bad, if that makes sense. I hope it does.
And root for her. Seeing her execute the final part of her plan and try to kill Vader but ultimately fail is a perfect way to end Reva's story. But alas, we can't kill her off that easily. I really think that Reva could have been a far better character if we knew within the first 2 episodes what her motivations were, so that we could root for her. And that way when she finally faces Vader, we would actually feel any emotion other than relief when Vader finally beats her. You know you feel it writing a character when people actually get upset when they don't get killed off. Even if they had written Reva just
I thought for sure, because when I saw that episode and I was like, oh, she's gonna go to Luke, I was like, well, she's gonna have to be killed. I was like, Obi-Wan's gonna have to kill her, I assumed, because I was like, nobody can know that the children are who they are. Nobody. Like, nobody can be trusted with that information. It's extremely important.
like how I described, I think Darth Vader killing Reva here is the perfect ending for her story. Reva
Sad.
cannot beat Darth Vader, and this entire sequence makes that very apparent. That's what could have been so tragic. No matter how relatable, likable, or interesting her character may have been, it ultimately does not matter because
It's because they're afraid to kill people lately, and, like, they're afraid to go too dark.
she can't outlive these characters. Instead, we have a random new character taking up a huge chunk of screen time, embarking on a solo mission and we don't know why, only learning why at the very end, and then watching her fight Vader, lose badly, get stabbed, and still not f***ing die. This is the next thing that I hate, and I mean it. I f***ing hate this. I cannot stand the fact that this keeps happening. I am shocked that Qui-Gon didn't raise all hell when he showed up over the fact that everyone but him can survive being stabbed. This sequence implies that Reva was stabbed as a youngling and survived, and she gets stabbed again.
That's because Qui-Gon's a bitch. I'm kidding. But yeah, like, even, I don't think he brings up Darth Maul, but, like, how come, like, literally everybody... It's like, I don't
And
get it.
survives. She stabbed the Grand Inquisitor in part 2, but I never had a problem with that because his species has 2 stomachs. However, that explanation is not the one given in the show, and instead it's the will to live. I really, really cannot stand this. The will to live is a rather bizarre concept in Star Wars if you really think about it. If you have enough of it, you can survive being mortally wounded, but if you lose it, you'll die giving birth. From now on in Star Wars, if any Force-sensitive person gets stabbed with a lightsaber, I'm going to be left with no reason to—
I don't know if you guys heard I don't remember if it was a theory or it was in Legends or something. And this may be a spoiler to me. I don't think it is. Like I said, I don't remember where I heard it from or anything. It may have been Star Wars theory even, but it was something like Palpatine used the remaining life force for Padme to sustain Anakin before he could get him, like, fully into the Vader suit. And that makes a lot of sense. like that makes a lot of sense. If like you can't, like if you don't believe in the losing the will to live, or if you that explanation doesn't sit well with you, that it makes a lot of sense.
To believe they aren't alive. This shit is supposed to kill people, yet everyone here is just too fucking angry to die, and it drives me insane. If you keep doing this, there is no tension at all, and that's not how you make a good story. I know what they're trying to do with Reva, and I neither like it nor care about it, and really wish Moses Ingram was given a better written role. Reva's character had so much potential to be compelling, but she overstays her welcome in a story that she otherwise doesn't fit into.
I know they're making, I think I heard they're making a spin-off with her, and I hope it's good. Like, maybe it would be nice to see, like, this is an original character. It would be nice to see a story with original characters. So maybe it was worth this, like, muddled story to see where we go with her spin-off. Because it could be good. Like, I can't, I don't know.
The last part of this rant,
She can
I think
act.
it's
I'll give her the
important that I
hatch.
discuss
She
the
can
main
definitely
focus
act.
of this show, Obi Wan Kenobi. I've heard people say that this show ruins Obi-Wan's character and is on par with the character assassination of Luke in The Last Jedi, but I really, really don't agree with that. The place we find Obi-Wan in mentally, physically, and
I swear, maybe I need to watch The Last Jedi again, but I liked it. I did not like The Rise of Skywalker because I was fucking confused the whole time, because I was like, wait, but what about... I think I need to rewatch them. I've only watched them all once. Just because, like, timing and all that. That was such a disaster. I don't even want to think about it. I really just want to rewatch the prequels,
spiritually is about where I expected us to find him. I don't think he behaves unlike anything I would have expected, but I will concede that I think other Star Wars materials such as the novels have offered up more engaging
Hey,
and compelling
Sean. How are you? Hello. I'm just watching, I'm finishing up a Star Wars video. I was talking about, I hope I'm not spoiling anything for you. Just going over a video that I liked that I kind of agreed with about the latest episode of Kenobi. Yes, that's going to be me soon, to be honest. I really appreciate you stopping by. I'm sorry I haven't been around a lot. I'm like busy and I forget and I'm kind of dumb and etc. Let's see. I'm going to put this on, so if this is a spoiler, you're going to have to mute me and I apologize. Let's see.
stories for Obi-Wan during this time period.
Also have an amazing bedtime.
The truth is that this show is very popular right now, and it's been breaking records for Disney+. Ewan and Hayden want to come back again, and Disney and Lucasfilm definitely want them back again as well.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, it's probably fun, though. Is she real young?
So we all need to expect more content like this.
Very young. Must be a handful then, huh?
I'm sure there are stories worth telling for Obi-Wan in this time period, but I don't think I trust the people running this show to come up with them. Overall, this show is likely going to remain divisive among fans who expected way too much, like myself, those who were never on board with the pitch from the beginning, and those who watched it and thoroughly enjoyed it. If you watched this show and enjoyed yourself, then I'm very happy for you. I really wanted to like this show, but in the end, I just didn't think it was a very good show.
It must have been a different video, but like he talks about, maybe it was Star Wars Theory. I'm like, I've been watching so many videos because I was like, alright, I watched this, now I need to watch all the other people whose opinions about it because I have nobody to talk to about this that's gonna understand it and be on my level because I have a problem. But I think it was it's just that fight, my heart. It's going to take a little bit of recovering for that because that was touching.
Yes, it has its moments, and those moments often come very late in the game, but to call this show a failure financially is, well, wrong. And narratively is, well, your opinion. I always think Star Wars can be better, but I especially can't help but want something as important and impactful as this to be far better than what we got. Tell me in the comments what you thought about this show. I just hit 10,000 subscribers, and I am so thankful for the support you guys have shown me. I've updated my channel to include all my relevant links, so make sure you maybe join my Discord, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I also
Okay.
have...
Yes, if you want to go do that, feel free. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video, I definitely recommend checking him out. Yeah, it's just... I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't like when shows make me have to kind of put logic to the side. And I understand that there's like space magic in it. I get that. But it should be relatively believable. Like there's a difference. I hope that makes sense. Maybe we will look at... Yeah, let's look at this. Is this... Wait, is this the one I've seen? Wait. Oh yeah, we'll watch this. Let's get a laugh real quick.
It's been far too long, Master Kenobi. Annie? My goodness, you had dressed.
I saw that the other day. I'm not gonna play that just because I don't want to get in trouble for this. But I saw that the other day. Sorry, Doug's choking, as usual. And it just made me laugh, and I was like, I absolutely need to, what did I... Oops. I absolutely need to, put that on the stream for some reason, because I'm nuts. But yeah, if you saw that other video, on that playlist, I definitely would like to watch How Liberty Dies, the Politics of Star Wars with you guys, because, yes. I knew what I was gonna play the other thing on here, but I know that's too, like, visually spoilery, so I'm just gonna pass on it. But yeah, hello there. If you know, you know. I mean, who probably didn't cheer at that moment, to be honest. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for me. I know this was only like a little over an hour stream. Shad, thank you for stopping by. King Houston, thank you for stopping by. Vishal, thank you for stopping by. Yoda Master, everybody. I very much appreciate you stopping by. If you're watching this after the fact, I hope you enjoyed. It's just me rambling and watching a video and wishing there was more Padme, because there should always be more Padme. Signed by me. A queen, an icon. Nothing to do but stand. But yeah, let me pull up the old music here. And yeah, if there's anybody to raid, we'll raid. If not, you know the drill. I will see you next time, guys. Bye.